Good morning and welcome to The Art of Composition. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. I thought I would do a video today on the design technique known as rabatment. And I had mentioned rabatment the other day in a video lecture that I did on Henri Cartier-Bresson and André Lott. So I pulled an image from the book The Painter's Secret Geometry because that book talks a lot about it. And I thought I would trace the analysis that Boulot is coming up with, and the artist is using rabatment. And I know when you look at the screen there's a lot of lines and it might look a little overwhelming, but what I'll do is I'll outline them and show you how the artist is arriving at those divisions. Alright, the first thing I want to do is rabatment is nothing more than overlapping two squares in a rectangle. And there's other ways you can use rabatment, and I do talk about that in my user's guide, but for today I'm going to try to keep it simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing out those two squares. And what I'm literally going to do here is outline Boulot's example so it makes sense. And this is the first square. This is on the bottom. I'm going to draw another one and I'm going to overlap it on the top. And I'm going to put that here. And maybe what I'll do is I'll change that color to blue so you can see the difference. And I'll make this one yellow so that they stand out from each other. So you have the blue square and the yellow square, and they're overlapping. Now what I'm going to do is draw the diagonal lines of that square. Alright, let me change this to white. And I'm going to draw the diagonal lines of the bottom square. And you can see when I'm doing this, it's tracing the dashed lines that Boulot has drawn on his analysis of this painting. Now I'm going to do the top square and draw the same diagonal lines. And again, you're going to see how by dropping diagonal lines in that square, they're lining up with his dash lines here. And I do a lot of these analyzations in my 14-line armature grid videos if you're interested. All right, now that I've drawn those diagonal lines out, I'm going to show where he's getting these other divisions. All right, so this horizontal division right here is coming from these two intersecting diagonal lines. And let me draw that all the way across. And of course that lines up again with a dashed line. Now this diagonal line here, it's coming from this corner right here, and it's intersecting the center diagonal lines there. That's how he's getting that. And while I'm at it, I might as well draw out the main diagonal lines, which are right here, and that's all he's showing with these dashed lines. These are just your two main diagonal lines of the full-sized rectangle. And then this diagonal line here is being derived, it's coming from this corner here again, and it's intersecting these two diagonal lines there, and that's how he's getting the angle of that line there. This vertical here that lines up with this box, he's getting that from these two diagonal lines right at this point. And if I drop that vertical, it encloses that wooden box. And then this horizontal line here, I'm sorry, not that line. Let me go back 1 second here. This vertical line right here, he's getting from this diagonal line right here and this blue line from the square. So let me drop that one down. And again, I'm just retracing his lines and showing you how he's arriving at this analysis that accounts for that line. And then this horizontal line right here is being derived from this diagonal and this vertical. And you can see how this is coming together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. And when I do my 14-line armature analysis, they're developed the same way. And again, this vertical here with the cloth is coming from these diagonal lines right there that are intersecting. So I can drop that vertical here. And on the surface, when you look at it for the first time, it looks confusing. But when you do it step by step, you can see how he's arriving at these divisions. And this vertical is coming from this diagonal line and this horizontal where those two intersect. And that's giving that vertical there. I'm not going to do every single division here, but this gives you an idea of how Boulot is arriving at this analysis. And like I said before in my video lecture about Brisson, this is what I was talking about when I'm saying you can't use dynamic symmetry for everything, because there are many ways the artist will design on the canvas, and dynamic symmetry is only one tool. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, as always.